Tuhin Sinha, I want to ask you, the fact is, let's say the national emblem per se, the change in design is not unconstitutional, because under the Act in 2005, the National Emblems Act, the government can do so what it wants with the national emblem. But would you not reckon it would have been morally right to include the opposition? Ultimately, you're talking about the national emblem, which represents the country, the ethos of the nation.
Well, good evening, Preeti. As you have yourself specified, as per the State Emblem of India Act 2005, Para 6, the government is within its rights to make certain alterations that it deems fit. But when you talk about the opposition, this is the opposition which had boycotted the foundation laying ceremony of the new parliament. This is an opposition which had gone to court and done everything to stall the construction of this building. So there is a certain intellectual dishonesty in this opposition, and it was not we did not find it feasible to engage with them on an issue where they had done everything possible to spread canards and falsehoods about the construction, where in 2012 it was the parliament under the then Speaker of Lok Sabha, Meera Kumar, which had very categorically stated that a new parliament was inevitable. So I think this opposition has been intellectually dishonest. What we have done is in the best interest. It is rather amusing that today we are debating upon the degree of snarl of the lion. I think the country has moved beyond that. This is an occasion that needs to be celebrated, and I don't understand why the opposition needs to get into this petty behavior.
But Tuhin Sinha, there have been 4 charges, and I want to bring in Shama Mohammed on that. Shama Mohammed, what is the sticking point where the Congress is concerned? Is it charge number 1, that the Master of Ceremonies was the Prime Minister and not the Speaker, like the AIMM's charges? Is it charge number 2, that a Hindu prayer ceremony took place, while, the Parliament represents possibly every religion that, makes India, the fabric of India? Charge 3, the fact that the design of the national emblem is different than possibly what the design of the national emblem which was adopted has been. What is the sticking point for the Congress?
All of them. So this is basically a spineless, undemocratic and insecure government. That's what we have understood. First and foremost, I want to know, is this emblem made by the Bharatiya Janata Party's personal fund? Is it the Prime Minister's personal fund? No, it is the taxpayers' money. Now, when something in the Parliament of such thing happens, you need to understand that the person who's in charge of the Parliament is definitely the President. He summons the Parliament, and that's prorogues the Parliament. That's the President of this country. And the Prime Minister's function is he's head of the Council of Ministers and the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. So we have a differentiation between the executive and the legislature. So even I fail to understand why the President and the Vice President was not there. The opposition members, everybody has to be invited. Now, Tuhin was saying that, they did a lot of attacks and they boycotted the other foundations. So let's understand why one boycotts, number 1. Number 2, the most important thing is, we said Manmohan Singh chore hai during our time, but did not Manmohan Singh invite them for various discussions regarding what is happening in Parliament? Dinners were there, everything. So it is a democracy. They cannot say that they said this on that particular day, so we cannot invite. This is not an autocratic government. This is a democracy. Number 2, you asked me about of course, this is an emblem where it's a subtle line, and here you have the fangs out, very muscular, very aggressive. So what happens today is going to be the national emblem. Tomorrow it will be our national flag. Let me mark my words. They want to change even the national flag. You know that after 52 years only the RSS held the flag up, hoisted the Indian flag. So that is another thing. And the third thing is, as we know, this is a Buddhist this comes from those days, and I fail to understand, when we have multiple religions, why not a Buddhist prayer, why not a Sikh prayer, why not a Christian prayer, why not a Muslim prayer? When all prayers, it's fine. Otherwise, we do no prayers. So because our constitution clearly says a secular socialist republic. So where is the secular part here? I fail to understand. I would like all the prayers there. That's fine for me. I don't have a problem.
Point taken. I want to bring in... Right.
But if you have a Ram Mandir, you do of course a Hindu prayer. That's very right, because that is where it should be. But what is this? Where is the Parliament is completely taken over by this government, showing what exactly Mr. Amit Shah said during the Hyderabad convention there, that 30 to 40 years it will be the era of the Bharatiya Janata Party, like a dictator talking.